Oh, hello, everyone.
So if my face is red, it's because Keely just walked in with a bombshell.
We're coming hot off the press.
We're coming hot off the press, which will actually lead into today's topic quite well.
Yes.
But yeah, Keely just walked in with a bombshell of news that I'm still recovering from.
So don't mind Maria if she's giving.
If you see my hands like shaking, I was like literally shaking with like adrenaline of the tea. The tea is so piping hot.
It's so piping hot, and it's so funny too because in the last episode when we talked about kind of like things that we wanted to update on like later in life, it's so funny that this is now where we're at.
So the update is gone absolutely crazy.
In other news, Liam Payne passed away today, so that's kind of like what I'm going through.
Today is a crazy one.
And you know why it's crazy? It's because there's a full moon tonight in Aries. And Aries is a sign of like...
That explains it all.
Craziness, fiery, just...
everything.
Yeah, just everything. So it makes sense that on this full moon and today and going into tomorrow will also be the full moon in Aries. So just expect a lot of craziness. And we're filming this on the Wednesday, so we'll recap tomorrow's craziness as well. But
so the last time we recorded was like end of September. So we've been celebrating fall. We've had some fall nights.
It's still hot.
It's still 100 degrees, but like today's literally the last day. And then this weekend I go down to Tucson for homecoming, which is going to be really fun, the old stomping grounds. And Keely decided not to go, but she's having like a staycation.
Yes, I decided not to go. Last year I just got like a little bit too crazy. Last
year was terrible.
I ran off the Sunlink and yacked. I hit Chloe's vape and I was like seeing stars. And Chloe looked at me and she goes, "Are you okay?" And right when she said that, I like evaluated myself and I was like, no. Sunlink stops, doors open. I sprint on 4th and I just yak everywhere. And then I end up going back to like Izzy's house. You're never okay at Izzy's house.
I was never okay. Poor Izzy saw me at my worst.
Both.
Friday night, Keely wasn't even there yet the first night. I think I was out for 5 minutes, and then I got chipped, and then the next day I was so hungover I couldn't even, like, talk.
I get to Tucson to go pick Maria up to be like, hey, like, good to see you in Tucson. Oh, I've never seen her look worse.
This was probably my worst hangover ever. And
ever.
Like, it was, like, one of those hangovers where you have to get ready. It's, like, the next morning of going out, and, like,
she's gagging.
I could not, like, move. Like, I was, like, frozen.
You were vegetable.
I literally couldn't even talk.
It was bad.
Like, I couldn't get saliva in my mouth to talk because I was, like, so dehydrated.
When I was at Izzy's, I was, like, telling her all these things, and then I kind of, like, unblacked, and I'm, like, retelling her. She's like, "Keely, we already talked about this."
Yeah, no.
I'm like, "Oh, God, so sorry." I'll ask her a question. She's like, "Keely, you just asked me that."
Yeah, so last year...
And I was like, "Oh, my God, I'm so
I need
sorry."
my redemption round, and I think Keely's just called it.
You know what? I'll give Tucson the point. I'm fine. But, like, my idea of homecoming is, like, I want to have, like, a walk in the park. I want to grab a scented leaf. I want to walk Old Main. I want to go see Pie. I want to, like, dilly-dally a little bit and, like, remember it. And then I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm good keeping it chill.
Totally.
But it's also, like, you have such a good reason to go. Like, it makes sense why you guys are all going. Like, me and Dina don't really have anything else for us there.
I'm just going because, like, it's literally an hour and a half drive and seeing my mom and, like, staying at hers.
It's so easy. And, like, it's, like, Leah's first homecoming. And then, like, Kendall's brother's there. There's,
like...
And, like, so many of our other friends, like, it's their first year going. So, like, it makes sense to go. But I feel like I don't have, like, a good reason.
Totally. So, I guess next week I'll touch on how if I redeem myself. I think I'll be able to. It'll be more
oh, my God.
It's, like, not
totally.
seeing everyone, like, in our grade
it's going to be a total different vibe than it was last year. Because last year was a total, like, oh, my God, hey. Oh, my God, hey.
Recap with everyone. Yeah, I probably won't even know too many people there. But it'll be, like,
no,
like
you'll know more.
Yeah, but it'll be about the destination.
Totally. But for this weekend, my friend Caroline's coming. I won't not have a crazy weekend. Caroline's coming in town. That's Bella's best friend from home. She's coming tomorrow night. And then Friday, they're kind of doing their own thing. And then Saturday night, me and Danielle are having a spa day. Massages, Lifetime, Uchi. And then that night, I'm going out for Gloria's birthday. And then Sunday, we're doing breakfast brunch for Bella's birthday because Bella's birthday is on Monday. So definitely have like a little bit of chillness, a little bit of like fun still going on. But I think it'll be nice kind of switching out and going out with like Bella and her friends. I feel like I haven't in a while. And I kind of would here and there, just like when summer first started. But now like I feel like I just haven't really gone out with them. So I'm really excited to have like a change of pace with them. I was
going to say, we both are going to have a switch up weekend, which is good because I feel like
we've been doing the same thing.
And it gets boring when it's repetitive.
And last weekend, I was like, I'm not going out. Like, I really want to have a chill weekend. Then we had like our fall night. We made a bunch of different appetizers. Maria made this insane popcorn mix. Can you please?
Oh yeah.
Can you please tell the
Full
viewers?
blend. Yeah. So it was popcorn, Cheez-Its. I'll put a video in, but it's popcorn, Cheez-Its, Goals Blend M&Ms, the special like Halloween colors,
Purple,
pretzels,
dark green,
marshmallows,
Ooh,
and then I
okay.
stirred it all up.
Yes.
And it was so good.
I haven't told Maria this, but I'm in the social club at work, and we're trying to figure out like some Halloween ideas. And I actually said, "Oh my god, my friend made this like popcorn snack mix." So now I'm in charge of this like Ghouls blend, but it's gonna be like do it yourself. So I have to get like all the ingredients.
Wait, love. Well, we made a mega bowl, and then
It was mega good.
it was like no, it was mega bowl, and then like we obviously didn't eat it all because it was huge, and then Ava was like, "Oh, bring it to Tuesday," because we always watch Dancing with the Stars, and I showed up without it yesterday, and they were like, "Where is it?" And
Did you bring the desserts?
Yeah, but me and Leia ate it all on Sunday
because it was so good.
We ate it way too much of it. Like we were feasting on it, and we felt like sick after.
So that night, Maria made that. I brought desserts. There was also like spinach and artichoke dip, hummus, cheese, crackers. Kat, bless her heart, made like the biggest bowl of autumn sauce pasta. So good.
Yeah.
Ava made pizza bagels. We made Aperfall spritz. So good. And that was kind of our vibe. And then Kat and Keelan, they left. And then it was just like me, Ava, Kendall, Leah, and us too, obviously.
Yeah.
And like, we have such a big friend group, but when it's like the random group of 5 that gets pulled
like
out of that group, it's always so fun.
Totally.
Like, it's a big friend group. We all do Dancing with the Stars together. We do like big groups together. But randomly here and there, you'll catch like a 5 group, or like a 4 group, like a random trio, and it's always really so fun
when there's like a kind of like a random mix. And these were just the people that were in town. A lot of people were out of town.
Yeah, and so that's like, kind of the same as this weekend. Like mostly everyone's out of town, so like I don't think it's kind of just like me and Danielle. That's why we're doing our spa day. But last weekend it was also kind of the same, and it's always so. It just goes to show like anyone, like we just all get along so well, which is just so refreshing.
You could,
like it was so
like
random.
5 random people,
and they would all have fun.
Yeah,
and I feel like too with like that group, it's like me and you obviously are like best friends, but like Kendall also had her own like core friend group in college. Ava had her core friend group. Like also like you and Kendall were really close separately, and me and Ava were close separately, and like me and Ava lived together at one point.
The dynamics.
It's just like it was funny how everyone had like their own personal friendships, but like us 5 hanging out together like wouldn't have happened.
Totally.
But it was still so fun. Like Leah obviously in the mix, and so that was just so fun. We all went to like Little Woodies together, which was like my first time.
Yes.
Kendall had been there before. I don't think Ava had.
Yeah, no.
Crazy vibe.
Yeah, like it was like really dark with different rooms. So like it kind of was like a Halloween vibe. Like which we were in our spooky era, but the crowd wasn't.
Arcadia's different.
It's different.
It's
and
different.
We got like shamed outside the.
I don't know if we got shamed. We got catcalled.
We got catcalled. No,
they said, "You ladies look good. You should come to Gilligan's."
Yeah, but then they were just being crazy.
Yeah, there was some crazy characters going on. Because Arcadia, it's like you're getting the older crowd, but they're also still like party animals. And it's a dive bar, but you walk in, there's like the bar and some seating. The left room is all pool table, so a little more chill. The right room is like throwbacks, people grinding on each other. It's sweaty. We were not drunk enough.
Yeah.
And also it kind of gave like cabin vibes. So I felt like more like I felt like I was in like 2013. Like it felt like I wasn't in the current state of age.
It did feel like an old like 2000s house party.
If you've seen Tell Me Lies, which is so excited, finales tonight, immediately going home and watching that.
Season 1 last night.
We'll have to unpack that later. But so excited. It felt like I was in like the bar that they go to, because it's like it's dark and it's old. There's like an older vibe to it.
Basically, we are gonna start trying to go new places, maybe.
But
then we go new places and we're just like,
Like my vibe for Woody's, it's like it's so close to the new bag. It's like if U of A had like a late game at like 5 or 6 and we're all there, and then like we want to go to Little Woody's afterwards and we're already really drunk, then I think that'd be really fun. We just didn't know anyone and we weren't drunk enough, because like the Aperfall spritz they hit, but they weren't hitting. Like I was pretty sober. Oh, you got drunk off of them?
Basically, yeah, like we try to go to new places, but then sometimes it's like meh, but then like staying out in Old Town is kind of meh.
Yeah.
It's just a meh.
It's hard. And I feel like for that night, I really didn't want to go out. And I thought because I had no expectations for the night that I was going to have so much fun. Like in the back of my head, in the back of my mind.
I don't know the lyrics.
I was like, oh, you know, since I have no expectations, I wasn't planning on going out. Like, I'm going to have so much fun randomly. I had like probably 5% of fun. But I loved talking to Ava. Like, Kendall was being funny. Like, always loved being with you. So, like, it wasn't the company, it was the crowd. And I just thought
and the scenery, it's like the same. Like, because then we went to Gilligan's.
Yeah.
We go to Gilligan's
which
all
was,
the time.
yeah. So I just thought, because I had all these low expectations, it's hard to manage your expectations. And that's kind of what we wanted to get into tonight. It's like, it's hard to find like, okay, my expectations are low, I don't expect anything, but then when nothing happens, it's like, oh God. But then you have those times when you're really not expecting anything, and it's like perfect.
They say the most fun nights out, or at least like, yeah, a lot of really fun nights out can be like when you like aren't even expecting to go out, or like last minute, like you don't have high expectations for the night, versus those nights that,
like, oh, let's have a big pregame and we'll take pictures and we'll all get ready, and it's like
sometimes those end up not being as fun as just like the random casual night that you're not expecting anything, and then it turns into being so much fun. Like
Bella and her friends, they stopped going to Old Town, and Bella's been out of town for like weeks on end, and they randomly went to Boondocks on a Friday and like got a booth and like they said it was like one of their most fun nights ever.
Yeah,
because they were just being so silly, they weren't ready for it, and it was just like a Friday night at Boondocks. Like I don't think I've ever done that in my life.
Yeah. So Keely and I were talking this week about what topic we wanted to do, and like something we have been struggling with lately.
Sorry if I flashed the crowd. Let me just get a little more comfortable.
Keep in mind, I'm in my comfy clothes.
Oh yeah, don't mind the complete opposite vibes. It's just us in a picture.
It's just us. But basically, we were thinking about a topic we've been struggling with lately, which is managing our expectations, and we found that it's a bit of a tricky ground.
It is. Kind of like I was saying, it's like you want to have these low expectations, whether that's a person, place, or thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too excited, but it's also like even outside forces, it's like reading those actions of like this person is talking about all these plans they want to have with you, and even like a place, like it sounds so fun to go to Woody's. It's this new place and it's going to be so fun. Like these persons, places, and things that we see or go to or meet, they're showing me this, but I don't want to get too excited because they're going to disappoint me. And that's also true, but it's also like that sucks that you don't want to get excited about something because like it's weirdly universally true that when you get excited about something, it doesn't meet your expectations, but it's like that's so unfair. Like why can't you always have high expectations and like put respect and value on someone because like you don't think they're going to disappoint you, but then like no matter what you do, they typically always do.
Also, Keely and I are both very optimistic people. So we're like, I'm always going around thinking like, oh, the best case scenario at all times. But then like sometimes then that like leads for disappointment. Like I guess we can start with people. I feel like there's been like people for both of us just in general where it's like you have these expectations for them and then they don't meet them. And like you can't help but feel like disappointed in them, but then it's like, did I set these expectations too high, or
and are they just playing by the field rules, you know?
Yeah, and it's kind of tough to manage, like, because you don't also want to be like a negative, pessimistic person, like thinking the worst.
Oh, this is gonna go terribly. They don't even like me, blah blah. Just for the little bit that they do give you ends up being good, when in reality, like that's the bare minimum. It's not even enough. But it's like you had to set your expectations so low for them to meet something.
Exactly.
Like it's weird.
It's weird, and like managing also like people's words and actions can sometimes just not align, and like that's hard because you get these expectations set up like, oh, they say this, that means that they're gonna follow through in this way, but then they don't. And I feel like that's just been something hard for us to struggle we've been struggling with. It's like, how are we supposed to gauge how these people feel?
And you can't help but have these high expectations because of like you said, their actions and like what they're saying and what they're doing and how they make you feel. It's like, of course you want to be happy about that, but then it's such like a double-edged sword because it's like, even though they're doing all these things, something somewhere, some thought happens, and then it's like it kind of goes away, and it's like, well, I can't help myself for being excited and feeling this was gonna be more, or like something was gonna evolve, or again, this can be friendships or like more than like relationships. It's like, that's so unfair.
Yeah, it is just tough. Like we've been let down a little bit in some ways, and it's like, but did we set our expectations too high, or did they just fail to meet them?
Exactly.
And it's kind of hard. You can second guess yourself, be like, wait, I'm asking for too much or expecting too much. But it's like, we do expect what we deserve, I feel like.
100%. And again, it's not that person's fault. If they can't fulfill our expectations, again, that's a little bit of them, a little bit of us. But it's like, it feels like it's this continuous pattern of like, meet someone, but then they do something, and it's like, then it's a switch up, and it's like, okay, did I think this was more than that? Did I have high expectations? Or then when it's like low expectations and then it does kind of hit the bare minimum, it's now I'm kind of all in my head like, oh, is this like something that's going to go well because they hit the bare minimum and I didn't expect anything? But it's also like, wait, no, they're just like kind of doing what they should be, and you didn't have any expectations because previously you took these actions that were more than what this bare minimum is, and you believe that it could go somewhere or could be something exciting, but then it's like, oh, boo-hoo, that's actually not what it was supposed to be. It's weird. Exactly. It's like, it's hard. Is it even expectations at that point, or is it just someone being a blatant, like, disrespect?
That's the thing. Like Keely was saying, it goes for friends and relationships. Like, basically, like, there's a friend situation, not involving me, involving someone else that I was just, like, a bystanding witness. But it wasn't even an expectations thing. They just straight up, like, missed the mark. There was an expectation that was, like, very valid because
you're
like,
friends
action.
And there's loyalty.
Yeah, and then there was action involved that thought that the expectation was going to go through, and then it didn't. And then there's been, like, no real apology or no real, like, sense of
loyalty
and
remorse,
sadness,
yeah,
a little bit. And it's kind of like, okay, then maybe that person isn't like a friend if they don't feel that way. But it's like, you didn't even set your expectations too high for them.
It's like,
but
you just expected you to be a friend
still.
Totally.
Yeah. So like, I don't know if I worded that well, because it's kind of hard to like, it's hard when we're trying to talk about these situations and not like,
I think
obviously
you worded
name drop, but yeah.
And I think for that situation too, it's like, you expect your friend to follow through with their word because that's your friend. And it's like, this, you're also excited about an opportunity, and you're excited, you're just daydreaming, and you think about the future, and it's like the hype up, and it's like, when it falls apart in front of your face in 2 seconds, it's like, well, how could I not be excited about what was going to happen? Like, that was my friend. This is someone I thought had loyalty to me, like, cared about me. It's like, because of your actions showed forth that you felt that way. So I'm going to think that, okay, we're good. Expectations set. Perfect. But then it's like, why would you, then it's like, well, never have your expectations set that high. But it's like, why then I would be like not excited about something that's like, I think it's happening.
Right.
But then it's like, scientifically, is it proven that that's the way it's supposed to be? Like, it's weird.
It's so hard. And like, I think also you do expect your friends to like care about you and like, like reach out. And so I think like that is just like not setting them too high and missing the mark. But I think another thing for us that Keely and I struggle with, especially like with the guy department, like because we are single, it's like we tell our friends stuff and then they like hype it up so much, which is like, obviously we want our friends to be excited for us and like hype us up and be like, oh my gosh, like they really like you, whatever. But then like that kind of builds these expectations too, because not only is it like expectations on yourself, but you have all like these people like having these really high expectations. And then it's kind of like if things don't work out, it's like, now I have to tell all these people. I have to like be like, nothing. And then it's like, to all these people, I'm like,
and then the lore drops.
Then the lore drops. But it's like setting too high of expectations. Like, our friends set high expectations for us. But they're just having fun and hyping us up.
I'm definitely guilty of like being one of those friends that have like hyped up too much.
Same. I'll like hype up any situation and like.
But it's because you're saying these things that are, and this goes for like you, like I can tell you, all right, you can tell me, this is what they said, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, from a naked eye, what you're telling me of this person's actions is good. Expectation high, because like what they're doing in your now build up in your head of this daydream or possibility, this expectation, how could it not go wrong? But then it's like, it does right before your eyes. And it's just like, that's so not fair. Like, of course you're going to be excited, but now is it why when you're excited that like it all just falls apart?
Exactly.
And like for me in my guy department, I like had someone I was talking to for a little bit, and we hung out and it was great, and I definitely had like high expectations, but then
your expectations were met in the moment, I feel.
They were.
In a way. But like, you had to build up.
It was definitely
hard not to build things up.
Exactly. Too. And like, especially when it's like everyone's excited for you and like you're excited and like the way they're treating you, it's like, that's gonna be great. But then happens and it's great, and then it's like, okay, well now what? And then it's like they kind of pull away, and it's like, wait, but even if I didn't want anything, it's like the expectation of like, okay, are you going to treat me the same way? Is there loyalty? Like, what's going on? It's like just kind of like such a letdown after that too. It's like, why is there always a letdown?
It feels like there always has to be
a constant letdown.
Like, I think one thing that bugs both of us, Keely and I, it's like lack of direct communication or like communication that's like meaningless. Like, just, we always say like, don't do the most. Like, if you don't want to talk, don't like don't like say things that insinuate you do still want to talk. Like, sometimes I'm like, why are you doing the most when you don't even mean it? Like,
don't talk the talk if you're not going to walk the walk.
Like, why are you saying these things and then you don't want to follow through? Like, just don't say it at that point, or don't make it seem like it's going to be this big thing and then it's not.
Because you're going to have the expectation that they're going to follow through with their word, but then they don't, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, then why just bring up your word to begin with?
And it's also like, you didn't have to say all that. You could have just kept it normal and like never went above and beyond. It's like, how can you blame me for now putting more expectation on you, or just kind of having this idea now of like what could be or what is going to happen next. And then like, because of how you treated it, and then just like the next day you kind of just slowly pull away. It's like, if you just told me, or if you tell me how you feel or how you want things, I'm going to respect how you feel.
Totally.
And I'm not going to second guess myself. It's always like, and that's what bothers me too about like the pull away or the letdown. It's like, because now it puts onto me. It's like, okay, well, and this is different for everyone. It's like, what's wrong with me? What did I do? What could have I done differently? Was it my fault? Did I do this? But again, it's never about you. It's always about the other person. And it's like, just be honest with that person. And I'm definitely guilty of the ghost. I'm definitely guilty of the pullback. But in the past few months, I've done like a complete 180 on that. And I've been way more direct and so communicative about like how I feel and like where I want things in my relationships, again, friends or not. And it has not come to bite me in the ass at all. It makes you
feel so much better.
Makes you feel so much better.
How you want it to be versus like leaving these expectations
and someone who cares about you and does have respect for you and loves you, whether it's like just respect you as a person at the end of the day, and like they're going to be happy you were honest with them.
Exactly.
Even if they don't agree, like they're going to treat you with respect back because you respected them. And then your expectations
can change for them in a way where you're both on the same page versus one person is expecting one thing, one person's expecting the completely different thing.
It's like, here's how I feel, and you can tell me how you feel, and then we can go from there.
It's just so much better. But I guess for some reason, people, they just can't communicate well, or
and
they
want to talk the
talk.
I feel like for us, like the two situations we're in, it's like we say like be direct, be communicative, but I feel like we could also be doing that right now with these situations. It's also balls in your court. Like you're the one that clearly has the issue, which is why the switch up. It's like, why can't you just say something? I feel like we're not in a place to say anything, which is like, in my head, it's like, well, am I drama if I say something? Like, do I have every right? And then it also goes back to the whole like, you don't know them, they don't know you because of like this. It's like, where's the line?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Line's blurred as hell.
The line is so blurred.
And when someone's right for you, when things are good, you're never going to second guess your expectations because they'll always meet it.
I think that's like the answer.
Which is, it's the sour answer, but it's also like, I guess we'll just get there when we get there.
It goes for friends, relationships, family, like, family,
heavy on that.
like you know when they're matching your expectations and like who is meant to be in your life.
100%.
Like part of being mature is like being able to talk about changing those expectations, or like what if, like your friendships can change, your relationship with your family can change, or like other relationships, but it's just about communicating and like making sure you're both on the same page with what you expect from one another versus just like leaving someone in the dark.
And even too, like regardless of the relationships, like even going back to like the place or a thing, it's like thinking about like trips you go on. It's like you don't want to have all these expectations, and you don't want to go on this whatever, because even going out, it's like the high expectation of it all. I'm gonna have the best night ever, but then you don't. It's like, well, I had no expectations for the night and I had the best night ever. It's like It's so weird. How
I don't want to have too high of like, I was like for events, and I feel like events, like even like my birthday's next month, and I keep like
birthday curse is because of expectations.
Because you have too high expectations. That's why this year I was like, I mean, I still have no idea what I'm gonna do, but then I'm like, I just want to have like such a fun night with my friends and like have it be like low key or whatever, just so I don't feel this. I don't want to feel like a buildup of like expecting too like crazy of a night, or having like this whole thing, and then it's just like too much pressure. And I just like, you kind of had like,
I don't know.
High expectations.
I don't know if I had like high expectations. Like everything I wanted to happen happened.
Yeah.
I just think I'm someone that can get very head in the clouds when I'm like overstimulated, and so like I get into an oob because I'm like, I'm not on this planet, because like I work myself up really bad and I get overwhelmed really easily sometimes. And so I think that was kind of different, but there has been times like where I used to be a crier on my birthday because I would want to feel like, I would feel like I'm going to feel so loved and so appreciated and like da 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 da, because whatever. I feel like that's how I felt like on my 21st birthday, or I think it was my 20th birthday. Like I had all these expectations, but it's also like, you're not 21 yet and like whatever. And then like for some reason, like my dad didn't text me on my birthday, and like I lost it because I'm like, I want to just feel loved today. I had all these expectations of like, I see how being in college, how these parents like treat their friends' birthdays. Like their parents come down, they do this whole like whatever. And like Chloe's mom was so good about like making her feel so special on her birthday. And like my dad even like say happy birthday, because that was like my first birthday in college because COVID happened freshman year. And I just remember being like, oh my God, like I just have like my friends, like my parents don't even care about my birthday and like
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But then on the other hand, it's like my COVID birthday was one of my favorite birthdays because I had no expectations, but it was just like my friends surprised me, and I just got like so drunk at my house, and it was just like so fun, and it was just like it's so weird. And then I go into the next year and I'm like, oh my god, first college birthday, it's gonna be crazy, it's gonna be like so much fun. And like the weekend before was so fun when I actually celebrated, but my actual birthday was like I was so stressed because there was a formal that weekend because I was the whatever, that was like my Pi-Fi thing. And I was just so stressed, and like I had chapter to like present on, and it was just like this college birthday I thought I was gonna have just like wasn't that on my actual birthday. And also too, I just like it was just such a weird time in life of like COVID and like other factors in life. And I think the guy like was kind of weird on my birthday, and like it's just and then once my dad didn't text me happy birthday, I started crying, and I was like right when I went to culinary and got like my room service, and then I was drunk and I had one sip and I was crying. Like but I'm such a crier when I'm drunk. That's why
like well, even back to what we were saying about homecoming and stuff, like I definitely got too drunk last year because I think I was like not nervous, but like it kind of like these high expectations, and then it's just like you haven't seen all these people in so long, and I think I just
and it's like you're back in Tucson, and it's like the adrenaline.
Yeah, it's like adrenaline, high expectations of just like having this like being back in the environment, like expecting things to be a certain way, and I think like I just was like got caught up in that. It's like how do people manage like all their events? Like what are we gonna feel like at our wedding? That's like
I'm gonna have to do major grounding work on my wedding day.
I'm not kidding. Like how are your or like your bachelorette or like your proposal? Like these are like these big life events that we're gonna have upcoming, and it's like how do people manage their expectations for that? Like how do you even mentally prepare to like be ready for them?
But then it's also like I kind of think about like me and Danielle's trip to like Europe and even like Laguna. Like I feel like we were like, oh, this is gonna be so fun. But I think it's like the less planning and the less like structure. I think my birthday was so structured around like gonna do this, gonna do this, gonna do this, gonna do this, like, this is this. It's like okay, well now it's like you all those things happen, but it didn't meet the hype of like I think that's honestly why I was in oops, because I was like, oh, this is like it was so structured, and it wasn't
about my birthday last year. We had
best day of my life.
Last year was so fun, but like
we sat on an air mattress in the living room eating mac and cheese, so hungover, did like basically nothing. Randomly saw a movie. It was like the best day ever.
Not just a movie.
The movie.
Hunger Games with snow, because that
Ballad
came
of
out
Songbirds
Ballad
and
of Songbirds.
Snakes.
But like, and I was like so hungover on my actual birthday because we celebrated on Saturday and my birthday was on Sunday, and I was like actually. I don't know why I keep talking about me being. These were like the two in the past year. These were like the 2 days that I was just like so hungover. But because I had no expectations for that Sunday, because I was like, oh, my birthday, I'm just celebrating Saturday. I had no expectations that we actually had such a fun day because we were just like rotting and giggling and like saw a movie and just like vibed. So I think this year I want like the same like. No,
I guess maybe for like bachelor parties and stuff, it's like bridesmaids just gonna have to take the reins and just be like, you just have to show up.
Yeah. Facts.
My wedding planner can also just like plan the wedding. I'll just show up.
Yeah, facts.
It's what happens at the wedding's none of my business.
Yeah. And like honeymoon, like, just like there's all these things. It's
husband
like,
can plan that.
How are you not supposed to just like? I don't know how people do with it.
But I know there is times where like, I do hope in the future that like I'm so grounded and like let go of expectations that like everything in my life will be perfect.
And there are sometimes where you have high expectations and they're met.
Exactly.
Like sometimes you're like, wow, that really was like everything I thought it would be and more.
And obviously, God is fair. Sometimes you're humbled and brought back down to earth, but I've had a little bit too much of the humbleness.
I've been humbled a lot lately, but I think we're entering our, well, people say winter arc.
Redemption arc.
And like part of, that's what I think I'm focusing on this fall/winter. It's like, I want to make money.
Yes.
I want to get really in shape, have so much fun.
Yeah, what's your like, winter arc looking like?
Just like literally become the best version of myself. And
agreed.
Then I'm ready for it for like the spring and summer.
Are you ready for it? Boom, boom.
Keely leaves for New Orleans
a week from right now.
That's like so insane.
So insane.
We got eras. So
I'll be like on the plane to Louisiana right now.
That's actually really, really, really crazy.
So crazy.
And then when she's gone, well, you come back on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
Okay, we're having like a cocktail night. I think on that Saturday.
Yeah.
We're doing like a Halloween. Are we pairing up? I think we're pairing up.
I think so.
I think we're pairing up like randomly, which will be fun. It's kind of like what you're talking about earlier. It's like we have like such a big group. It'll be fun to like
Tuesday at Dancing with the Stars. Well, you guys should pull
Oh, yeah, we will. And we can pull for you.
I think next week, me and Maria will try to pod on Monday, right after work. And we're going to do a Halloween episode. And we're so excited.
We can talk about all of our Halloween stories, because I feel like Halloween is an eventful. Like, I have stories. And then we can show our old costumes and rate our old costumes. And then that episode will come out the following Wednesday, which is the day before Halloween.
Yes. So I'm so excited. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Oh my God, that'll be
Dare I say I have high expectations for the episode.
High expectations.
It might be our best episode to date.
It might be.
But don't get your expectations too high.
Yeah, that's actually facts. I wonder what people expect of this pod. Probably us not to record on time. Facts. And post on time.
But that's why their expectations are low, and then the episodes are so low,
and then
good.
they get shocked when there's a new ep.
It's scientific facts, everyone.
It is.
But we love you, and if you do have
much.
any expectation advice or any way you manage your expectations, we'd love to hear. I feel like it really has been something we do struggle with, like pretty recent.
We've been talking about it a lot recently.
Yeah. Or if you relate to us, like, please join the convo.
Yeah.
We would love to chat.
We want to hear more. And like we always say, if you have more ideas of what you want us to do for podcast topics, just text us or comment below.
But next week, by the time you hear this episode, I will be going to the Eras tour. It'll be our Halloween drink night. So just when you're listening to this episode, there's going to be lots of fun going on. Just making more fun for a new episode recap. So
totally.
We hope you're excited.
Yay, love you guys. Bye.
Love you.
Thanks for listening.